All right, welcome on in everyone to this episode of First CSP, channel dedicated to bringing you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Ouachita Area 14 out of Arkansas. This council was originally formed in 1925 as a name change from Hot Springs 14 and lasted up until 2012 when it was absorbed by Quapaw Area 18. Now, in the more recent collecting guides, they have listed all the first issues as just S1. However, in the older collecting guides, they did break that into two variants, the S1A and S1B. We will take a look at those today. So let's head on over to the patch table. Here we have the S1A with its red border, light blue sky, white letters, and blue water. Now, the only real distinction that they make between the S1A and the S1B is they do say the S1B has dark blue water. Now, I will say that those distinctions are a little dubious, so I certainly can understand why they would have uh, done away with those distinctions and just call all of these S1. We'll take a look at the back of this one. It is a plastic back for this S1A. And we have an S1B here as well. And as you can see, they do call this blue water and they call this dark blue water. I think some of the other distinctions in the patch are more prevalent than necessarily the distinction in color of the water there. One of the most striking to me is the thickness of the mountain line. You get a much thinner mountain ridge line here in dark brown in the S1A than you do in the S1B. Also, we see the S1B, or the second production run essentially, is a bit larger and kind of a bit more standard roundish corners, later style CSP. Also, the back plastic backing uh, does give it kind of the more updated, later style production runs appearance. So all of those are a little easier clues to define the difference between the S1, what was formerly known as the S1A and S1B, than the color of the water. I think the color of the waters are actually pretty darn close. And weren't necessarily as telling to me as noticing some of these other key characteristics, which certainly look more distinguishable. Well, there you have it. The first two for Ouachita Area 14. The S2s, the next patches that were released, had Type 1 and Type 2 fleur-de-lis, so those would not be confused with the first issue here. And there you have it. We'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode of First CSP. We hope to see you back here for that. Want to thank you all for taking a moment of your day to spend your time with us checking out the first issues here. Again, new episodes every single day, as well as we have a host of playlists on the channel. If you want to look for something specific, whether it's CSP, pre-CSPs that came before 1970, you want to look at CSPs that have known reproductions, where we try and highlight the reproduction with the authentic CSP and help people with identification. Again, identification in general of first issues is one of the main focal points for the channel, and we hope that that has helped collectors, enthusiasts, or just people curious about these little pieces of art and history from Scouting America. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, hope you guys have a great rest of your day.